Today in the news, we got the possible pricing for a few RTX 3090s and some RDNA2. What's up guys, I'm Snows and this is your boot sequence. Let's get started with NVIDIA. Yep, again, that's what, the fourth video in a row? At least it doesn't beat my AMD record. Anyways, the green team. We've talked about the RTX 3090 and 3080 in the last few videos, and now we talk pricing. This information comes from a Chiphell user who apparently got his hands on insider information regarding the price of an AIB RTX 3090. This board partner is the company Colorful. Now, the leaked PCB we saw a few days ago is allegedly also from Colorful, so it's possible that the company has a bit of a leak problem. So there are three models. Two of them are from the same line called Vulcan X. The regular Vulcan X, which would be an air-cooled RTX 3090, would be priced at 12,000 Chinese yuan. This would translate to about $1,750 US and $2,300 Canadian. Then there's an overclocked version of the card called Vulcan X OC. This version would cost 13,999 yuan, which would translate to about $2,000 US or 2,650 Canadian. And lastly, there would be a water-cooled version called Neptune. It would sell for a little less than the Vulcan X OC at 12,999 yuan, which would be around 1,900 US or $2,500 Canadian. I would assume that the Vulcan X has the pricing that we can expect for non-OC cards, and that it would be the closest to the US retail introductory price. That would be around 1,750 US. Now, yes, the price is considerably higher than the RTX 2080 Ti, which was $1,200 US. But the rumors say that NVIDIA is actually going back to marketing the Titan cards as a workstation GPU only and not as the flagship gaming card. Kind of like what they tried to do with the Titan XP and Titan V, which both were not branded as GeForce GPUs. So you can see it like this. It's either a massive increase in price from the 2080 Ti or a considerable reduction in price from the Titan RTX, since the 3090 is allegedly taking its place. Now, about pricing, I'm about to go on a little tangent here, and it might be a little controversial, but still, I get that it's expensive, but that never really mattered, or should I say, shouldn't really matter to a certain extent. If what you're looking for is a $500 to $600 GPU that beats the older $500 to $600 GPUs in performance, you're gonna get it. If you're not willing to spend $2,000 on a GPU, don't. You don't have to. Heck, I would never spend a Canadian grand on a GPU. That's like $100 US. The only time that this will become a problem is either if they start removing lower end products, if they completely skip a price range, for example, if there were no cards between $400 and $800 US, or if performance at a price point is lower than the last generation, which wouldn't make any sense. What are your thoughts on this? Shoot them down below. Speaking of ray tracing, we got some info on how RDNA2 will handle it. During Hot Chips 2020, Microsoft went ahead and revealed how Zen 2 and RDNA2 are integrated into the Xbox Series X. We got dice shots showcasing the chip with the massive GPU area, which contains the 56 compute units. We got the entire SoC block diagram, and more importantly, the GPU block diagram and pipeline for the dual compute units. Comparing it to RDNA1, it looks like there are still two shader engines or groups that both have two shader arrays that house 30 compute units each. What's interesting is that out of those 60 compute units on the chip, 4 are being disabled. Moving on to the individual dual compute units, this is where the ray tracing will happen. Just like NVIDIA's SMs, the ray tracer, or ray accelerator as Microsoft calls it, is part of the compute unit. According to this slide, each CUs can do 4 ray operations per second. How does that compare to NVIDIA? Well, none of the specs really match. Giga RTX ops, ray ops per clock, there's no transition really. So in that case, we'll have to wait for benchmarks to compare how ray accelerators and RT cores compare. What we do know is that just like NVIDIA, there is 1 per compute unit or SM. And that is pretty much it for the catch up, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Drop a like if you liked it, a comment if you want to talk about today's stories. If you want to rip me a new one about the pricing tangent that I went on, go ahead. As usual, you can click right here to see the latest video right here. To subscribe to the channel, it would be greatly appreciated. Don't forget to stay frosty, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.